Greetings and welcome back to this week's Gacha news, and we've got a couple of very exciting articles for several games. So, to start with, Zenzo Zero is finally releasing their 2.0 or Season 2, and there are a lot of really good things happening with this. We've got one free SSR for standard banner SSR for everybody. We've got also, I believe, one standard S rank Wenjin. We've got Yuxuan banner. Then we've got Jufufu's banner. I hear the Panda, Mr. Panda down there. I believe I've heard rumors that he's actually pretty decent. So there's fun in that. We also have the buffs to Ellen, which apparently make her really strong. And that opens the window for possible buffs for other Season 1 agents. Especially as standard banners, because Nekomanda really needs a lot of help in that article. Well, in that respect. And that is going to happen, I believe, last night. By the time you see this video, it should be up, and everybody should be posting about how they got or didn't get Yuxuan, so have fun with that. Then we have Girls Frontline 2 finally releasing their new tactical doll and event, and it is Hui, I believe that's what it's called. Anyway, she is a, hydro doll that has very high mobility and has coordinated attack with hydro damage, so really good thing. We also get a preview of her first costume, if I can scrounge it over here, should be, yep, there it is. It is a Race Queen style costume, and of course it's got a little bit of cake added to it. If we mute this, you can even see back here that they put a slight emphasis on, well, the modeling of certain parts. Yeah, but that's not the most important or the most exciting part. The most exciting part is that we are getting a little bit more. So Klukai's more expensive costume, as you can see, is getting the accessory treatment, so you can customize it however you want. And when I saw this, I was like, cool, maybe once her reroll banner goes around, I can finally get her. Well, turns out we are getting her reroll banner, and between her and Zhao Hui, well, it's literally a no questions asked thing. It's absolutely Klukai who gets all of my pulls this time around, because Klukai is one of the two tacticals that I would label as absolutely must pulls, the other being Macchiato. Both of them will make your account significantly stronger. Klukai is able to clear maps on her own. Her AoE damage is absolutely insane, as well as her mobility with her ultimate. And from what I hear lore-wise, she is also very, very strong, and she's the leader of Team 1. I just started playing a month ago, so I don't know how Team 1 and Team 2 got together and everything. But that is pretty exciting, so I'm going to be pulling on Klukai. Then after that, we've got Zhao Hui's event, Echo of Dawn. They didn't tease anything about the story, so we have nothing about that. We did get a new rerun of the Vampire Hunters like mode. Apparently they acknowledged that the last time this came around, 2 units were extremely powerful, and they've made changes to make up for that. They added Cheetah as a playable character, as you can see, so that's going to be a little bit fun to try out. And let's see, is there anything else we saw? I don't think so. Oh yeah, and then personal modules for who was getting one? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Sabrina is getting one, and Kolfei is getting one. It's increased a little bit for healing and recovering 1 point of stability, so pretty good. And then for the, mission, we're getting to fight this thing from all the way back in the very first chapter, so that's going to be interesting to fight against that thing again. We've got, simulation exercise rewards, and we are getting a statue of Yuhi's Miracle Sweetheart outfit, which probably a 1/12 statue. That's pretty much what it looks like. But I was not expecting to get a Girls Frontline figure this relatively soon. They'll also be at Anime Expo 2025 in Los Angeles, so if you go there, you can get some small merchandise and probably some badges and some other stuff like that. And that really is for Girls Frontline 2, even though it is quite a bit. Then lastly, there is the half anniversary reward code that you can see right here. Just input that into your account with either the website or the game, and you get quite a bit of things. I believe it's like something around 300 collapsible pieces and some other stuff. And we also get this little piece of artwork which shows Klukai being particularly happy, which if you've seen how she reacts in story stages and stuff like that, it's an extreme rarity. And I think I just learned that. So Klukai is Team 1, Vector is Team 2, this is Sparkle Squad, and this is somebody else. But that's all I know about, well, Girls Frontline 2 lore. So anyway, moving on. Next, we have Mecha Break. It's not a gacha, but it's a game I did play during the open beta, and they are listening to their players. As you can see here, they are making a lot of changes. First, 12 strikers unlocked at launch. This is the biggest thing ever, as you can see by the responses, because in the closed beta, you started off with the basic one. Aline says, let's see, where are you? I think it's this one here. And then you had to gather currency and unlock each one individually. Now it seems like every single one of the core mechs is going to be unlocked, which is really, really, really good. Tricera extremely strong, but anyway, moving on. Then next, you can skip the tutorial. Perfect. Then after that, more stuff is unlocked right from the start. The custom room, the free-for-all, that's interesting. Customization, yes, pilot customization is how you're going to make money. People want that quickly. And Ace Arena is basically your one-on-one arena mode, so all of that is unlocked from the very beginning. Then you can customize your character without paying anything, whether it's premium or gatherable in-game currency. Really good. Then gliders and modular weapons. Right off the bat, this is absolutely huge, because during the closed beta, these little gliders that you can summon and move around were basically a requirement for heavy mechs to work in the extraction mode, and because you had to unlock them by finding pieces and unlocking them eventually, it made heavy mechs basically just not playable in the extraction mode. I remember back then, me and my team were playing basically nothing but lights and snipers, and we saw a team composed of nothing but heavy mechs, and we completely dominated them because they had no mobility whatsoever. So yeah, this very good because it makes more mechs viable in that mode. And then in the was essentially ranked 6v6 and 3v3, there are going to be no mods. What they mean is that these mods you see here were basically random drops within the extraction mode, and they could be either very strong or very weak, and they let you customize modes. For example, you could make the sniper mech Narukami hit even harder but shoot slower, which is basically not a problem on a sniper. And basically, because it was RNG, this was basically a big complaint from those that participated in this, but that's no longer a problem, so very nice. And then something massive is coming. What day is it today? It is the 5th. So something massive is coming tomorrow, probably a release trailer with a release date. That's probably it. But we're not done yet. On June 9th, we have a developer AMA, which is very interesting considering how much they are reacting to player feedback. I am looking forward to this, to hear more what they have to say. So yeah, if you liked Mecha Break or you don't know what it is, this sounds like a lot of good player-friendly changes are being made, so very good for them. And lastly, for this week, we have Shift Up, thanks to Niche Gamer here. Shift Up, the makers of Nikkei and Stellar Blade, have finally semi-announced their newest project. It is called Project Spirits. It used to be Project Witches, but basically it is a cross-platform title that will embrace the concept of Eastern fantasy. So this is going to sound like it's these. It's not the sequel to Stellar Blade, because Stellar Blade will have a sequel, but this is its own thing. We also have art by the artist of Kim Hyung Tae. If you recognize his artwork, it's because you probably saw Magna Carta on the PS2, or he was also the lead artist for Blade and Soul MMO, which unfortunately shut down. I kind of saw that coming many years ago because it was kind of semi-forcing players into PvP. But alas, that is what it is. This artwork is definitely very much him. This is his Twitter if you want to follow him. He is doing a lot of tweeting about Nikkei and basically anything regarding Shift Up, because that's where he is currently working. And this is really all we know, but what we can figure it out here is this is probably the main human character. She's carrying 2 swords, obviously. And because it's called Project Spirits, my guess is this girl here is some type of elemental spiritual thing that imbues her with power or abilities and something around those lines. Or it could be completely wrong and they are both characters since they are both using weapons, but literally we know nothing. Other than it's based on Eastern fantasy, probably wuxia style fantasy, which I don't know anything about, so I'm looking forward to this. Give it here, you can give him a follow. He tweets quite a bit for Stellar Blade, and he or she retweets a lot of Nikke cosplay and events, so yeah. Anyway, that is it for this week's Gacha news. Hopefully you found some of this interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming around, and we will see you next time.